My favorite game from the last generation is coming to PS4, and I'm pretty darn excited. What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and The Last of Us Remastered is officially a thing. It was leaked last week by a foreign Sony rep and then kind of pushed under the rug, but we knew it was coming, and today we get that official confirmation. The PlayStation blog has officially revealed that yes, The Last of Us Remastered is coming to PS4 this summer. Now, this is an upgraded version of the game featuring higher resolution character models, improved shadows and lighting, upgraded textures, and more improvements to be discussed at a later date. It also features an in-game commentary track through all the cutscenes from Troy Baker and your other favorite characters, as well as all 3 Last of Us DLC packs. So that's the Left Behind single-player story with Riley and Ellie that I love so much, and in some ways think that structure of exploration and focus on characters is even better than the main game. It also features the Abandoned Territories multiplayer map pack that came out a while ago. I, for one, really love the multiplayer, and we'll get to that a little more in a second. It also includes the Reclaimed Territories map pack, which hasn't even been released yet for the PlayStation 3 version, so they better get their butts in gear and get that thing out if they plan to include it in the PS4. This is a bundle, basically, of the full game. Now, I, for one, am very excited for this because The Last of Us is quite possibly my favorite game of all time, so I will gladly play it once again in even better, more glorious visual fidelity on my PS4, which is such an awesome console. I love the controller more. I think it's a great multiplayer game personally, so I'm hoping that there will be some sort of vibrant community to kind of revitalize that game. I love playing it. It was getting pretty darn hardcore on PlayStation 3 with the dwindling player base, so hey, if they can reinvigorate that and give the PS4 a really good third-person shooter, I'm all for that, and I think it's a great move for Sony to add another exclusive to the PlayStation 4 library and kind of just further boost the sales. You're getting basically the best game from the last generation now on the current generation, and for people who transitioned over from Xbox or from Wii now to a PS4, hey, they've never played the game, they're getting one of the best, and it has a multiplayer component that could possibly just continue to invigorate the PlayStation service, the PlayStation Plus service, and the online community in general, considering that Killzone is pretty good, but not the crown jewel that one would like to have. This does bring up some concerns as well. It's not all butterflies and rainbows, in my opinion, because it sets a dangerous precedent for HD remakes. Now, in the past generation, when we got an upgraded, remade game, it was a big shift, because something like Shadow of the Colossus, Beyond Good and Evil, Halo Anniversary, a lot of games really looked dramatically different. Going from standard def to high def was a big jump, and there were a lot of classics that we got to re-experience in fun ways. I still thought it was getting a little bit tiresome towards the end of the generation, constant remakes. It's like, do we really need another version of this? And now we're entering an even more interesting path, because you're getting HD-ified HD games. So it's not really even an HD remake. I don't know what they call these, a next-gen remake, upgrade, make, cash-in? I mean, what do you call this? Because for people that have already played the game, how much better is The Last of Us really going to look? There's been rumors of a Gears of War trilogy in, 1080p for Xbox One, rumors of other games being HD-ified even further for XB1 and PS4, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's a little bit worrisome, because there's already a lack of exclusives, a lack of games, I feel, for the next generation systems. And sure, the wheels are just beginning to start turning. It's the beginning of the life cycle, the beginning of the generation. Give it some time. I just don't really want to see resources spent too heavily on these kind of games. I know they need cash flow to continue forth, and I personally, I don't know how much this takes. How much time does The Last of Us PS4 take? How much money? How many personnel does it take? Is it pulling people away from The Last of Us 2 or Uncharted 4? Because honest to God, if I had to pick and choose, if it was one or the other, I would rather have a new game every time than a remake. Every single time. Even if it's my favorite game of all time, like The Last of Us just may be, I would always rather have the new game. And of course, I know that would make it way further down the road. It's not like it was, release The Last of Us 2 this summer or The Last of Us Remastered. So, don't get me wrong there, but maybe it just is a stopgap, and we have to accept that there's going to be some of these. I just find it a little bit concerning, because the difference is not going to be as great as it was previously. Something like Halo 2 Anniversary for Xbox One, okay, that makes decent sense to me, because it's totally taking a game and improving it a 2-generation gap, right? And a huge fidelity gap. But taking something like Halo Reach and remaking it, that would not make hardly any sense to me. I don't really want to see a slew of, oh, now we've got, BioShock Infinite HD. Tons of people, say they want Grand Theft Auto 5 in, on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I think that could be cool. It'll look fun, but do we really need every game that was a great game from the last generation now in this generation? I mean, Dark Souls 2, would I love to play it on next gen? Sure, I would. Do I want to pay $60 for it? I don't know. And that's the biggest problem I have with this new precedent that's being set, because The Last of Us Remastered is $60. It's not a $20 thing, and there's no mention of an upgrade path if you already have the PlayStation 3 version. Now, perhaps they will make something like that for digital purchases later on down the line, but I doubt it. I think this is a $60 package, a Game of the Year edition, in a sense, that features the DLC, features upgraded textures and blah, 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 blah. But it would be hard to say, hey, spend $60 on this version versus spend $20 or $30 on the PS3 version. Is the difference really that big? I don't know. That's for us to kind of, I guess, decide on our own. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys think in the comments about, are you okay with HD remakes, next-gen remakes? Do you think that's a good idea? Or do you think it's a path that we really shouldn't go down, that publishers and developers should focus their resources on new games, and that the gap between Xbox 360, PS3 versus Xbox One and PS4 is not so large that we need to see these games revitalized so soon? Again, The Last of Us, it's going to come out 12 months, give or take a little bit on either side, after the original game came out. And, I know it's an interesting situation because we have a new generation, but that's not really a remake to me. A remake insinuates something that is a classic of the past now being brought to a new group of people. Granted, the PlayStation 4 does house a new audience, but it's really not the same. I don't know. I'm excited to play it. I will be playing it. I will be diving into this one and experiencing that great story, and I feel that great gameplay again, but it makes me concerned for the future, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. I mean, if they had something where, hey, you could pay $20 for, to get this game on PS4, or if they even charged, hey, $30 because we know this is a game that most of you have already played, we've sold millions, that would be a different story. But charging $60 for this, it does have the DLC, so you are getting added value. I don't know. It feels a little bit. I'm really torn because, again, like it says on the front of the box, over 200 Game of the Year awards. That's insane. This game is like an achievement of momentous proportions. But do we want to pay $60 for bumped up versions of our favorite games from the last generation? Or do we want to pay $60 for brand new experiences and not really deal with this routine again? And I don't think that this is the last one you're going to see. It's maybe The Last of Us, but it's surely not the last next-gen remake you're going to get. I bet there are a bunch of these. I bet we'll see announcements of some at E3. I wouldn't be surprised to see trilogies brought to the new consoles, whether it's Uncharted or Gears of War, something even like Resistance or Mass Effect. And for some people, hyper fans, that's going to be a great, great thing. They're going to be very excited and very pumped up. And even people who have never played them will probably be very excited because it's giving you new content for your new system. At a time, though, when these systems don't really have so much on the horizon, I'd rather see them put all their energies towards new games. And like I said, I don't know the structure of these teams. Maybe it's a small offshoot and it's not really sucking any resources from future development, but I have to imagine it is a little bit. And when the only exclusive I can think of for PlayStation 4 in the future is Drive Club and The Order, like, I would rather see these efforts be put towards something else. I know Uncharted is coming, but all we have is a teaser trailer with no footage. Same for Xbox One. I'm hoping that Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive and all these games are revealed for later this year, but right now, what do we know about? And I'm nervous that we're going to start seeing a lot of these. And, Grand Theft Auto 5 Xbox One edition will make a lot of people super happy, but I don't know if it's best, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. I will be reading through them and responding accordingly, so definitely get your thoughts out. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the conversation at hand. I'm very, very curious. Thank you guys and girls for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and again, let me be clear that I love The Last of Us. I will be playing this version, and I'm pretty excited about it in just this isolated time, because It's one of my favorite games and possibly my favorite game of all time. So, The Last of Us Remastered coming this summer. No set release date yet. I would venture to guess it's probably in the June, July range. I think this is something coming pretty soon to give PlayStation fans a game to purchase when they are out of school or enjoying their summer vacation. So, guys and girls, that's going to do it. Thanks again for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And until next time, guys and girls, drink some hot chocolate. And I will see you all later.